Well, after a one-year break, it's election time in Allen County once again. In 2010, we'll have a number of races that you'll be able to cast ballots in. And joining us is Beth Glugg, who is the Director of Elections here in Allen County. Beth, 2010 will not be a presidential or gubernatorial election year, especially not like the last one when you had a lot of turnout then. But still, a number of very important races in Allen County that'll be on the ballot for folks to vote in.
Right. We are gearing up for the primary, which is going to be on May the 4th, 2010, and over 100 offices that will be on the ballot. Because it is a primary election, we like to think of it as actually two separate elections that are going on. The Democrats are selecting candidates that will show up on the ballot in November, and the Republicans are selecting candidates that will show up on their November ballot. So kind of the two different elections going on.
And people should remember, when they show up for the primary, they will have to declare whether they're Republican or Democrat. You don't get to crossover vote in Indiana.
That is correct. That is correct. Unless you want to vote just for the school board. And we do have some important school board races that are going on during this primary election, and that would be Southwest Allen County, Northwest Allen County, and East Allen County. They will be selecting school board members. Also, the Democrats are selecting precinct committee people, and the Democrats and the Republicans are voting delegates in that will go to the state convention in June.
Okay. Now, there are several different methods for people to cast ballots. The polls on election day is the one most people are familiar with, but tell us about several of these other alternatives.
Well, you can vote absentee by mail if you meet certain qualifications, and some of those qualifications are you have to be at least 65 years or older. Also, if you're going to be out of the county for the day that, on election day, or maybe perhaps for travel, or if you're going, if you have a disability that precludes you from going to the polls. So there are several qualifications. We accept applications for absentee. We mail out your ballot, and you mail the ballot back to us. And that ballot has to be received by noon on election day, and we can count that.
Okay. And then there's also early voting. That's kind of like absentee, but rather than mail it in, you actually come into your office to vote.
That's right. Starting on Monday, April the 5th, we can accept people in our office to vote what we call early voting, but it's actually an extension of that absentee voting. You don't need any qualifications such as the absentee by mail, but you can come to our office Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, and vote here in our office.
And that really is turning out to be quite popular. As I mentioned that the 2008 election had lines of people out here over a number of days, folks taking advantage of that. They find it more convenient, I think.
Right, very, very flexible, and if you happen to be downtown during that period of time, you can just come right to our office and get your vote in.
Okay. And of course, there's election day, going out to the polls. Any changes as far as polling locations go in Allen County this year?
Yeah, actually, we've done a lot of changes to the polling locations. We did a big survey in 2009 and looked at all of our polling locations. Some no longer met the guidelines that we require for accessibility. And also some polling locations told us that they didn't wish to be polling locations any longer. So we do have quite a few changes, and those changes are posted on our website, and also we're going to be sending out a notification to all voters in April that will tell them where their new location is.
Okay, so if folks are going to be going to the polling places, what do they need to make sure to bring with them so that they are able to actually cast a ballot?
Well, they definitely want to be prepared and know where their precinct and their polling location is. Again, they can go to our website to find out that information. If they've recently moved, they want to check their registration and make sure that they've changed their registration to reflect their new address. They want to bring photo identification with them because we will still be asking for photo identification. So.
Okay. Now, Beth has kindly set up one of their voting machines here for us to demonstrate. Kind of give us an idea of the process that you go through. So why don't you give us an example here of how that works, okay?
Sure. Okay, first of all, I want to mention that we are looking at a ballot that was developed for the last primary on May 2008. When you get to the booth, the judge will have set your ballot so that you are ready to vote. When you want to select a particular candidate, you find their name on the ballot and press the button that is next to their name. And it will put an X in the box. If you decide that you want to change your vote, you simply press the button again, which will deselect that particular candidate, and then you can reselect whatever your choice may be. Down at the bottom of the page, when you're done voting on one page, it will tell you that there's a next page, and you press that button, which will bring you to the next page, and you can go ahead and make your selections. Another thing that you want to take a look at is at the heading of each of these races, it will tell you how many people you can vote for. For instance, county commissioner, it says for vote for one only, so you can only select one of the candidates that might be under that heading. On county council members, this says you can vote for 3, so you can vote for up to 3 people on that particular ballot. Then after you've gone through the next page, if you want to look at a prior page, you just hit the button next to prior page, and then you can move forward. Once you have completed all of your selections, you hit the confirm vote, and the red button will light up under cast vote button. Go ahead and press that cast vote if you're sure that you've made all the selections that you want, and the machine will tell you thank you, and your vote has been successfully recorded.
Okay. Okay, it looks like a pretty simple process there. Before we wrap things up, you will be needing some folks to work at the polls on Election Day. Tell us a little bit about the opportunities that are available.
Well, we have over 700 poll workers that will be looking forward to work at 131 locations. If someone is interested in being a poll worker, the parties, the Republican and the Democratic Party, actually make those nominations to us. So they simply contact the party of their choice who will line them up to work at a precinct.
And it should be pointed out, it's not just Election Day they'll be working, and that will be a fairly long day, let's face it, because right. You're open from 6 to 6, but obviously there's setup and breakdown afterward. But there's a little bit of training also that they may need to undergo. Right.
Everyone who works for us is asked to attend a training session about an hour long here at the City County building. And also some of the inspectors have some duties on Monday night setup, as well as the judges. So it's a little bit more than just the full day at the polls.
But it's a good opportunity to be involved in the process and to help the community out.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Beth Lugg, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and explaining how the machines work and what will be happening on Election Day in May and November 2010 in Allen County.